Good morning guys! Today we are in Worthing! It has a pier! It has a theatre! But the main reason why I like to come to Worthing is because it is nice and flat and a lot more accessible than Brighton. Brighton is so hilly. Even non-disabled people complain about how hilly it is. I just can't manage it on my own. And a lot of the shops in the lanes in Brighton are completely inaccessible to wheelchairs. Like, they don't have any ramps and they're quite difficult to get around. Whereas in Worthing, the shops are nice and accessible. So when I'm planning a little adventure on my own like this, I have to make sure all of the conditions are right. I try and make sure that I come out on a day when it's not raining, and today is beautiful. It's super cold. It's about 5 degrees. But this is the first day this whole week it's been nice, so I was like, carpe diem, seize the day. This is the day when I'm gonna go out on my own. Daisy Bell has just left school, so as soon as she left, I hopped in the car, I came here so that I could get some parking. This is why I like Worthing, it has parking and it's on the flat as well. In Brighton, they've got disabled bays behind Churchill Square, which is the main shopping centre, which are on a hill like that. I mean, now behind me I'm going to go up the main drag, and as you can see it is in a kind of like a V shape. So I find rolling at the top of the V is the easiest way, and sometimes it's best to kind of let your wheelchair just glide and go where it wants to go, and then fight against it in some areas and then just let it glide back down again. Hope that makes sense. Another thing that is important to me when I'm going out on my own is to make sure that there is going to be somewhere to have a wee. And I always find if you're going into a town or a city, the best places are Marks and Spencer or McDonald's. Usually always have accessible toilets, so I've popped into Marks and Spencer to quickly relieve myself. Now usually Marks and Spencer are really good when it comes to the emergency cords, but this is no good. I've left them one of the cards that says that the cord needs to be hanging all the way to the ground, otherwise it could prevent a disabled person from calling for help. So there we go. So some of you guys were asking what I do when a shop is inaccessible or too kind of squished and crowded, and to be honest, I avoid them. So the shop behind me, Claire's Accessories, not a big fan. Thumbs up if you know what I mean. It's very like an Aladdin's cave. You're like pulling things off of the shelves and getting caught, and it's tiny. It's tiny. I can just about manage it, but it's a bit of a nightmare. On a Saturday with Daisy, we won't go in there. So when I'm out on my own, I do like to stick to the shops that I know and sort of almost plan out where I'm going and what I'm doing. So today, the reason that we're here is because I need to go to the body shop to get Sister Wheels her birthday present.
Anything I can help with? Are you having a browse?
I'm after the drops of youth eye cream, please.
The little pot?
Yes, please.
So just this one here, the bouncy youth mask. Just to let you know, on skincare and makeup, if you buy 2 products, you get the 3rd one free.
Okay, so behind me is a classic example of a shop that I avoid. The works, it's crazy in there. Slight pit stop. I thought I'd have some breakfast. I've come into Costa. I tend to come to like more chain style cafes than independent cafes because I know that the big chains tend to have toilets. This is what I've ordered. Cheese twist and a coconut latte. And I didn't even have to ask, they just said we'll bring it over for you, which is really good. This is really annoying. You spot the problem? I am so far back from the table. I have to lean, I have to like scoot all the way forward on my wheelchair because the foot plates just hit the middle of the table. So that's as close as I can get to. Just finished my coffee. This is the Costa toilet. Boom. It's actually really, really clean and doesn't smell. Otherwise I would not be vlogging. Let's have a look at the cord though. Wheeling with one hand. Uh-oh, can you see? It's against the red background, but it's kind of... We'll just put that out the way so it doesn't get in the way of people situation. But let's set. Hello. Setting free is a bit low, isn't it? A little bit low, but I've just seen there's this lovely mirror here. There. So I will let you off. When I was trying to get into Costa, you would have seen that the doors were closed, even though that there is a ramp and there's it's nice and accessible to get into. When the doors are closed, it makes it quite difficult. They're not automatic. But luckily, just as it happened, a man came out, kind of panicked a bit. I told him the best way, I think you just have to speak up and tell people really, because they don't know. And I was able to get in the door. They were very narrow doors. I was able to get through the one door, but I think quite a lot of people, especially if you're in a power chair, would have to have the two doors open. And one of those doors was locked, so that makes life tricky. Someone was asking me what I do if I can't get into a shop and you need to have a ramp put out for you. I don't actually tend to go into any shops that need ramps, to be honest. Most of the shops in this town are accessible, or I have Sean with me, but on the occasions that that has happened, I just kind of sit there and hope that someone sees me or spots me, or maybe someone, a passerby, will go in for me. But yeah, that's the only thing you can really do, to be honest. Or you could always even phone ahead, let them know you're coming, what sort of time, to keep an eye out for you. Just an idea. Okay, so we're outside H&M, which is one of my favourite stores, and all of the doors are shut and they look pretty heavy. Now I have a whole video on how to open doors from a wheelchair. I've got it down to a fine art, so hopefully no one's going to come along and help me, but I'm going to try and open these doors and show you how I do it from my wheelchair though. So here we go. Some of you guys were asking whether I go into the changing rooms to try on things like jumpers and coats, and probably not. No, I'd probably try them out here on the shop floor. I'd probably try them on the shop floor because it's such a palaver. For the demonstration purposes of this video, I was going to try something on, but getting this coat on and off is so hard. I was struggling, I was wrestling with it for like 5 minutes trying to get it back on in Costa just now, so just use your imagination. Yep, H&M is the best place for maternity jeans, and yep, I still wear my maternity jeans, and I don't think I could go back, to be honest. And the door opens to the right, so I use my right hand, and here I sort of pushed myself at the door and used as much strength as I could to get through. Yeah, those H&M doors are quite a struggle, especially because they're on a a slope as well, so I kind of use like the catapulting technique. These doors are incredibly heavy and incredibly awkward, but what I do is I use this sort of catapult method to help myself get through. But it's a very good idea to go and check out my how to open doors from a wheelchair, and then you can kind of get an idea of how I open them. They're very heavy and very tricky. Right, I'm back at the car now, and I thought what I would do is show you my setup as to how I carry my shopping. So, let's put my brakes on. I have my pick pack underneath. This is the larger one, which makes life really easy. I have just got my wallet, and these are the bits that I bought, so I just put them loosely in my pick pack. There's actually quite a lot of stuff in here. That's all in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into a carrier bag, and then that will make it nice and easy for me to put in car. I don't want the pick pack full of stuff, so I tend to empty it before I get in the car. When I'm doing a shopping trip on my own, I'm not going to go out and buy like flat pack furniture and big bottles of wine and things that I can't carry, because that's ridiculous. When I'm going out on my own, it just tends to be for things that I need, like little things. But if I did have to get big things, then I would put a backpack on the back of my wheelchair, which you will have seen. That's what I used when I was out and about in LA. So my friends, that is my little vlog on how I manage a little shopping trip on my own. I hope that maybe by watching this video it's given you the confidence to try a little outing on your own. Let me know if you've got any tips for anyone else out there that I might have missed that could help someone who's a bit anxious or nervous to go out in a wheelchair or with a disability for the first time. I've been Jem, this is Wheelsnoheels. Make sure to subscribe, watch some more videos, have fun, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Secret to eternal youth. That's why I'm looking so radiant. The Body Shop bouncy iron.